Hey everybody, it's Natasha from Mystic Wisdom and Treasures. We are back here today for a brand new timeless pick a card reading. Whether this is your first time stopping by my channel or you are a returning subscriber already, hello and welcome. Today we are going to be diving in and asking our spirit guides, our higher self, the divine, the universe, what have we brought over from our past life? What gifts, what lessons? Also, what does our past life self have to tell us, and how we can integrate this further into our current situation and our current lifetime. So if you would like to take a moment to pause the video, you can, so you can really ground, center yourself, clear your mind, and take a few deep breaths, calling your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your higher self, the divine, the universe, and ask them to help direct you to a group that contains the information for your highest good to know regarding what you have brought over from your past life. And with that being said, today we have 3 groups to choose from. Over here we have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. When you are ready, I will have timestamps listed in the video description down below so that you may skip ahead to the group that you feel the most called to when you are ready. And always remember that this is a general reading and you also have free will. So if you hear something that doesn't quite sound right to you, or you don't want to integrate this and take it with you, you absolutely do not have to listen to that. It could just be a message for somebody else. Always remember to trust your own intuition and what you feel sounds right for you, what sounds good for you, and leave behind what does not. And let's get right into it. Hey, group number 1, for those of you who felt drawn to the group with the Caribbean calcite heart, hello and welcome to your reading. Sending you so much love from wherever in the world you are currently viewing this today. Let's dive in and take a look at your past life, what you have carried over from your past life, and what your past life self would like to say to you. So before we get into the cards, I'm going to see if I get any messages from your intuitively chosen crystal. Okay, so I feel like this is more in relation to your current circumstances or your current life. Your past life self is bringing up that there is a need for patience. Something that you learned from in your past life is that everything unfolds in perfect timing, perfect harmony, and I think that that is something that your past life self really wants you to know, that just because things aren't moving along quite as fast as you would like them to does not mean that it's not meant to be. Sometimes there's something better beyond the horizon for you, or there's other things meant to happen first. So that is a piece of wisdom that your past life self wants to say to you. I feel like because they have lived through everything and all the experiences, they really saw at the end of their lifetime how everything really unfolded and how it worked out for the better. And I feel like you'll come into this realization too as you age and get older, or maybe you're saying that now, but that is something that your past life self is wanting me to say to you, is that everything will unfold in perfect harmony. Maybe that was a message that some of you really needed to hear right now. When you're so focused in and zeroed in the thick of things, in the situation, when you really want something to either work out really badly or happen, whether this is your dreams or some sort of goal or something you really want to happen in life that you're really emotionally invested into, when it means a lot to you, it can be really easy to fixate on this one thing. And I'm hearing like tear yourself down with negative self-talk if things aren't moving along as fast as you want them to, or maybe even for some of you, you see other people achieving their dreams, aspirations, or getting to where you want to faster than you, and you kind of feel like things just move along slower for you. Not that you're trying to compete with anyone. I mean, maybe some of you are, but take how it resonates with you. But I do feel like there is a time and a season for everything, and once you see the way that things unfold, it will all make sense, it'll all be clear. And even if things don't quite work out the way that you originally thought they would, they're going to work out in an even better way, and you'll see why you had to go through the lessons that you did. And I feel like there's something about this that's going to set your heart free, Spirit just said. Let me see if there's anything else, but they are saying that there is a need for patience right now. I just heard the message from Spirit that this is very specific, but your current living situation or circumstance might be a reason why things are held back a little bit, and there might be a reason for that. I just heard blocking blessings, so there may be something that you're working out in your current living environment or in the environment around you in general, where there's something that has to come to a close first, or you have to go into a new living situation or environment in order for this thing to unfold and new people to come into your life. Fresh new energy with forward movement, because I feel like if the thing that you wanted to happen happened right now, I just heard it's best to wait until the right time. It's best to wait till this new chapter comes, and then you'll get even more blessings, abundance than you ever saw in the first place, saw coming in the first place. So let us put this over here for now, and we will come back to it if there are more messages later. Let's get into your cards. So this first card, this archetype card, is going to get a feel for your past life self and maybe what you may have brought over, whether this is gifts, lessons, and just let's get a sense of who you were in your past life and sort of an archetype behind this energy, or maybe what you have learned or brought over. So we have detective, light attributes, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out truth. Shadow attributes, voyeurism, falsifying information. I'm sensing maybe some of you could have literally been like a detective in your past life, or had, I'm getting a vision right now. This is probably a very specific message for somebody. I'm sensing in your past life, and remember too, like especially more relevant past lives, they can really coincide with things that have gone on in your past as well. Go hand in hand. So you may have gone through similar situations in this life too, so just keep that in mind when I'm talking about this past life, and maybe that's a way that you'll know it's for you. But regardless, what I'm seeing is some of you grew up in this past life in a family where you didn't really trust the people that you surrounded yourself with. There was a lot going on. I feel like for some reason I'm hearing like maybe one of your parents was not faithful to the other, or there was a lot of lies and deceit in the family that you grew up in. So you kind of had to decipher what was truth versus what was illusion. You had to build up your own character, your own strength of mind to really tell the two apart. And that was a very unfortunate lesson for you in this life. It came with a lot of heartache, but you uncovered a lot of truths as well as truths about yourself. You really built up your own character, and I'm seeing that you really learned how to discern people, and that's something that has also been passed down in this life. You may be really good in this life at seeing through to people's true intentions. You may be really good at seeing people's true motives, seeing people's true colors, and it's almost like you're piercing right through to their soul. And I feel like you people I feel like this group, if you're resonating with this energy feels like human lie detectors, quite honestly. You have the heart of an angel, I just heard, but you can see through BS. You cut the clouds, I just heard as well. And I feel like you had to face a lot, maybe in your childhood or growing up, surrounding like family dynamics and just the people you surrounded yourself. Maybe there was some fishy stuff going on. Maybe they got into things that they shouldn't have. And I feel for some of you that there was this fake persona or this persona that your family or people you surrounded yourself, we're talking about past life still, but some of you, you could also see this in your past too, in this one. Anyway, I feel like because of what went on, I feel like maybe there was a lot of chaos in the household, or you didn't really feel like you were part of the family. You didn't really feel like you belonged there. You may have been more of the black sheep, but it's less of because you were wild or partying, nothing like that. This feels more, some of you, I feel like some of you may have turned to that stuff as a form of escapism from what was going on at home, or maybe that was, I just heard, was a phase or a chapter of your life that you did go through because you were trying to find your own identity and cope with the process. And I feel like you felt a little ostracized from the rest of your family. You didn't feel like you quite fit in, or your morals didn't line up with your family members or somebody in your family. So you may have grown up really fast, too soon. You may have left home even at an early age, or right when you turned like the legal age to move out or whatever. And I feel like you took those lessons, those hard lessons, those hard truths, and the people that were supposed to care about you the most, you saw their core intentions because you grew up around this. You learned how to see this in others, so you grew a discernment about who should be in your life and who shouldn't. You really saw people's characters because you lived through that. Okay, so let's finally get to the next part of your reading. This is just going to be some more information about your past life and maybe how it can be relevant to your current. So we have the Six of Pentacles. Let me put this up here for now. We have the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. Diving right into this, and I'm getting more messages from this Detective card as well, that because you may have had to go through a lot of distrust in your childhood, in this past life, and maybe in this current one to a degree too, but especially with your past life, because you went through a lot of heartache or betrayal, or you saw through people's core intentions, or maybe there was a lot of manipulation in your childhood, because you saw this in your home, I'm feeling like this may have built up, you may have learned to build up a wall to the world outside as well. There might be some trust issues, or you really struggle to let people in or trust them. So maybe that's some of the heartache that came along with being able to see through people's core intentions, having this strong intuition, this detective intuition about you. You see through truth, but at times maybe your worries can get the best of you, being very discerning, but at the same time you're really careful and choosy about who gets access to your heart or your trust. You find it hard to trust people, and this might be something that you have noticed in this life too. So with that being said, let's get into your tarot, see if there's any other messages here from this past life and how it's relevant now. For some reason, I'm getting with the Six of Pentacles here. You may have really had to, I'm hearing, like, fight for your money and survival, or be careful with your money. You had to, it's almost like penny pinching at a young age to make sure that you are okay, because maybe your needs weren't really taken care of by people that were supposed to take care of you, or you really had to safeguard your funds. That's something I'm getting. There's a journey that would happen in your past life, or maybe you're learning now, integrating it in, is learning how to have a forgiving heart while still being able to spread the wisdom from your past. So I feel like you maybe had to, you came into your gifts, I'm sensing, because, okay, split off message here. Because you went through what you did in your past life, I feel like in this one, you may have awakened your intuitive gifts at a really young age. You came in with it. You came in also with a very loving and pure heart. There's this desire to give everyone a chance to know what it's like to feel safe. That's something your heart in this life, I feel, for somebody or some of you, is really yearning for with these cards. Looking at them, you're wanting to find somebody that you can also share assets with safely. You want to safely plan your future. You want something that your past life self also desires, the same soul that is within you in this current life. Because you went through everything that you did, you're really careful about who gets your time and energy and support, and you kind of struggle sometimes choosing between your head and your heart, especially when it comes to people, because especially if you get really close to somebody, you want to give everyone a chance, and it's like you want to see the good in them. So maybe there was some fear that also spread out from this past life energy too, to where it's like you don't want to experience this same thing again, where your mind doesn't remember this from your past life, but your soul does. That same traumatic memory, where you just, in this life, you want to have a better life. You want to feel safe around the people that mean the most to you. And some of you actually did, I'm getting, like, not all of you, but some of you actually did grow up in a family that may have been more financially abundant too, or you felt more free and more taken care of in this way, or maybe they grew up teaching you how to see through BS, to have a strong BS radar. You may have been labeled as being naive in this life by your parents or caretakers, or maybe even some of your friends, because you want to see the best in people. You just want to feel safe in this life, and maybe you're not consciously aware of how that connects to your past life, but I feel like in this life you're really choosing to have more forgiveness in your heart, to give people chances, to be more generous, to the point of overgiving and overextending, overreaching yourself. And you kind of want to believe that people's intentions will shine through, I'm getting here. It's like when you get close to somebody, it's hard for you to want to see the red flags in people, because you have so much heart to give, and you want people to appreciate you for that as well. But I'm sensing like it can be really hard for you to let go of people that you've actually let your walls down around. So maybe even in this life, you do find yourself being more guarded. And maybe there could be more catalysts for being guarded in this lifetime too, like certain reasons. But maybe there's also a part of you that felt guarded, but you never really knew or understood why. And I'm getting either some of you repeated some of the same cycle to a degree. I feel like maybe it wasn't nearly to the extreme that it was in your past life with the mistrust you grew up around or learning how to fend for yourself at an early age. Some of you repeated that too and went through your own struggles, but I feel like maybe you got a dose of that, just not in the extreme of this other life. And again, that's not for everybody, but that is for some of you. Or maybe I'm getting also that your parents actually were the ones that went through that in this life so that they could teach you. Because I feel like some of you went into this life with some sort of soul contract to where you get to be more safe in this lifetime and not have to re-experience that firsthand. It's more so secondhand. Like maybe the people that raised you gathered this information and they handed it down to you about how to be more discerning, and maybe they see you as too frivolous sometimes or too understanding or too forgiving, and it's like they want to load these lessons onto you. They want you to have a better discernment so that you can be safe in this lifetime. Sometimes their worries can get the best of them to where they're always doubting everybody else's intentions, but your past life self, I'm feeling, was very much like how maybe this parental figure, whoever this person is that comes to your mind, that this fits, that was more how you were in this other life. Like you were the one that had that trauma and you made it in this life too. But I'm feeling like that is something that happened. Maybe your parents went through some sort of soul contract agreement. Not that people deserve this to happen at all, but they went through some sort of soul contract agreement so that you could have a better life this time. You could become financially abundant or shine for your talents and not be so much in survival mode all the time. You get to showcase your gifts in this lifetime. Some of you are also very intuitive, very creative. Some of you might feel a little reserved and shy, especially in the earlier part of your life. But I'm getting, because you went through what you did, I feel like there's some sort of soul contract that your parents in this life went through so that you could find more freedom and follow your own path and feel free to follow that road. Maybe people don't always necessarily understand your choices, but on a soul level, there was some sort of soul contract made here so that you could actually feel free to chase your dreams and have that security that you didn't have in your past life. And it's like maybe it can be a little overwhelming if your parents or whoever this is are kind of drilling you down about people's intentions or like expecting the worst to happen. But I'm feeling like, just know there was a reason for that on a soul level, like not to excuse anyone's behavior or their mistrust or anything like that, or for somebody to do their own work to grow or anything along that nature. But that's just a message some of you needed to hear. I'm seeing flowers. We also have the flowers here in my mind's eye, and I heard forgiveness. So you may be learning how to forgive, or you're showing people that they can have a new start, especially these parental figures that are trying to help you have a better discernment in this life, or they may be a little overbearing at times. I'm getting that this is the life where you shine. You may not feel like you belong to your family in this lifetime, or you might feel like you are just different, but that's because you were meant to shine. You were meant to be different. You were meant to have the security to be able to do that, or build the security to be different in a safe way. You're meant to be seen for your talents. You're meant to be financially abundant and feel taken care of and seen and cared for in this lifetime. So your next cards we have are Krishna, Lakshmi, and I am not sure how to pronounce this, and excuse me, I need to get more familiar with how to pronounce these cards, so I'll just show you for now so I don't butcher it. You are being really taken care of in spirit in this lifetime. You have the support of your ancestors, your family. There's this need, I feel like maybe you have either a soul contract with family members in this lifetime, or on the other side that because there was such hardship in your last life, they want to offer you the safety network of support from them in this one. It's like they're making amends for what maybe they did wrong in their past life, and they want to make it right in this one. They want you to have security. They want you to have the security to also chase after your dreams. They want you to showcase your talents. And there's also a very specific message. This might be kind of separate, and this is very specific for someone. And then somebody's parental figure may have been really hard on them when they were a child about their dreams or for being different. Or they may have wanted you to take a different route, or they may just not have understood your spirit back then. They may have tried to, not necessarily like in a way to make you doubt yourself or anything, but they may have projected their own past onto you with your dreams. And maybe at one time they didn't support your dreams, goals, aspirations, or talents. Maybe they thought that it's not a way for you to have security. But like, say if you have an artistic endeavor or something out of the box, and not just like more of the jobs like, say, being a lawyer or a nurse or a doctor or whatever. They may have tried to push you towards those other roads, but they want to say that they know that that wasn't the road for you now, and they're sorry for that. They understand you more now, and it's like they want to make amends for that in the past, for trying to stifle down your creativity. They're proud of you for your work and what you do, and they're proud of you for your shining star. I'm getting really emotional saying that. You are loved and accepted, and they open you with wide open arms now. They want to tell you that you're destined to succeed, that they support you, they see what you're doing, they see all your hopes, dreams, and desires, and they regret saying anything to deter you from that path when you were younger, or make you feel like you weren't good enough or like it wasn't possible. They want to make amends, and they want to see you happy over anything. They know that having a scarcity mindset was a projection of their own. They want to see you happy now. They see that you're happy. They see where you're going with this. And they just want you to live true to yourself and know that it's safe to do so, even if at one time they said it was not. So, and they're also proud of you. And some of you, I feel like maybe because of this, you might have had this subconscious mindset to where you're never going to make it, or like self-sabotage behaviors. You may be hard on yourself because you're not quite where you want to be in life yet. You may be even harder on yourself for that. And there's no rush. These people want to tell you, their spirit, their higher selves, their souls want to tell you, or these guides, there's no rush, and that you are doing beautifully in life. There doesn't need to be a timetable. They're proud of you for the work that you're doing and for exactly who you are. They want you to know that they love who you are, and that they're sorry for projecting their own insecurities on you when you were younger. They want to know you to know that you have their support, and they just want your best interest, and they want to see you succeed. They see that there's a fiery spirit within you, and they just, again, they want to encourage your talents and what you're doing now, because they're saying in the past it was just a projection of themselves that they were putting on you, and that they're sorry for times that they may have tried to control you or the route you're going, and that they do love you. They see you and they accept you for who you are, and you're helping them learn too, and inspire them and help heal them by staying this course. And that they want you to know that you are perfect, the person you already are inside. That's a beautiful message. Okay, so let's get some additional messages. A message from your past life self. We have inner earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. We have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. So you are somebody that came here with a strong purpose, I'm getting here. You're somebody who may have felt a little scared to step into the spotlight. You may defend yourself from the world, maybe because of what happened in your past life, or be afraid to put yourself out there. But you were sent here to help heal the planet, to help show people a new way of being. Even just your presence is like a light for the earth. You don't even really have to do anything. But your past life self is saying, please don't stay hidden out of fear. Do not stay hidden out of fear. Because I feel like you're going to see how like there's some fires going on in the background here. I'm almost getting this vision of you stepping out and you bring the rain. It's like a breath of fresh air, something the world has never seen. And to not let these past experiences, or to let the fear and trauma from your past stop you from being out in the world and showcasing who you really are and your talents and healing and doing what you want to do in the world. You deserve to be seen. And I think you're here to help build a new earth. The golden children, we have inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. See, rare gifts. Some of you may actually resonate with the term star seeds. And maybe that's why you kind of felt like you didn't fit in with the family you were raised in, as well as your past life experience too. I feel like maybe some of you, this is another past life coming out for you, is your incarnation as another being that was not human. And getting like, you are here to show the world the real you. You are here to be different and not fit in, but showcase that. You were meant to stand out, and you're going to bring healing by doing this to people. Awakening your true soul, and because of what happened in your past life, in this one, you're meant to have the life where you stay true to you and you shine and you do exactly what you want to do. To be free. To live a life that's different than other people, but brings you happiness and shine. Some of you are meant to shine. A lot of you are, I feel. And some of you may be actually remembering past lives right now. During the time you are watching this reading, you might be remembering past life memories, because you're awakening gifts from your past life that you can bring and integrate into this one, and really understand your soul's core, your essence, why you're here, how you can showcase your talents and help humanity with them. So, more messages going forward into your present lifetime. We have throat chakra. Express your truth. Yes. Some of you are spiritual leaders. You don't have to be. Some of you are into social work, or you are here to shine. Express your truth. Be exactly who you are and be authentic, and inspire other people with that. You are also an earth angel. I think You were meant to shine. You were meant to stand out. You are an old soul. I'm getting some of you are also singers. I got here too. And I'm feeling like you are free to express your truth in this lifetime, and you're going to get recognition for it. All right, your last 3 cards going forward, we have take time to breathe out. Conclusions are within reach, and the energy is gaining momentum. Some of you are feeling a little bit, just like I said at the beginning of this reading, going forward into your present life, more forward, just messages you need to hear now. Some of you are feeling impatient, either with your growth, the speed of your growth, or things unfolding in the time frame that you would like them to. Maybe you have a certain passion, or you want to be seen for something, and there's no need to rush here. Take time to breathe out. It feels like maybe you feel like you're not quite whole because you're not being seen just quite yet, but again, your time is actually coming very soon. You're touching more people's lives than you think you are. And Spirit wants you to know that just because hasn't fully come full circle just yet, doesn't mean it's not meant to happen. I feel like, again, there might be some sort of situation that has to happen first, or a new environment, or whatever this is, but your time to be seen is coming. It's just, has not fully gotten here just yet. And to be patient with yourself and the process, and know that things unfold in divine timing. I know some of you are going to get mad at me for saying, oh, divine timing, meh. To have more patience, but you are learning patience right now, and know that you are destined to be seen for whatever it is that you're going forward with, especially if it has to do with your voice, speaking your truth, or being seen somehow in the public eye. You're meant to help humanity in this way, but your journey is unfolding in a certain way where your story needs to come to a certain head too, so that you can express this to people and inspire them and act from this core of yourself with these lessons in mind too. You are meant to stand out. It's just maybe you are in the cocoon stage just before it hatches and becomes a beautiful butterfly. You are meant to speak your truth. Some of you have had to go through certain lessons involving throat chakra and opening your throat chakra. Maybe you still are in the process of opening your throat chakra, expressing your truth, standing out, allowing yourself to speak your truth, or even develop your truth. But the time is coming very soon. Some of you are going through a really hard time at the moment, and maybe it feels like there's so many obstacles getting in the way, that these little annoyances are getting in the way of you seeing the road ahead. But just because there's obstacles right here doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It is. It's just you're going through a little bit of a rough patch right now, but conclusions are within reach. But I feel like some of you might be seeing some of the little obstacles or annoyances, and that might be discouraging you a bit. But just to know, like, you're going to plow right through those obstacles, and you're going to be seeing the time is coming. You're going to have the spotlight on you in some way. And also we have the energy is gaining momentum. So you are very close to where you're wanting to be seen, or where you want to be with your goal. Your goal is very, very close. There's some sense of freedom that needs to happen, I think, here too. Whatever, take that however it resonates, whether that's moving or whatever this is. Just know, like, your time is coming. This is divine timing, and nothing can stop this from happening. You are going to impart a lot of wisdom on a lot of people that they can take with them, and it's going to extend to generations that come after them. You have a very big purpose in this lifetime, and you are meant to be seen and speak your truth. You're meant to be seen in all your authentic colors for who you want to be. You're meant to have this lifetime to be exactly who you want to be. You're meant to be happy in this lifetime. That's a big part of your life purpose. I know that sounds simple, but it's actually a really big and beautiful life purpose. You're meant to be happy, and you're meant to be seen. You're meant to, you're just meant to have the things that you want to have in this lifetime. and know that you deserve them. And even if I'm hearing worth the wait, even if you have to face some struggles or it takes a lot of time, you're gonna get to where you want to be. And it's gonna be a beautiful unfolding journey to where you are this butterfly for the world to see. Alright, that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if it resonates for you, and please consider subscribing if you are new to my channel and you have not done so already. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to talk to you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. I'm sending you so much love from wherever in the world that you are currently watching this reading today. Hello and welcome to your reading. So before we get into your cards, we're going to get into your crystal. Quick disclaimer here. I said this in the last reading. A lot of time with past lives, you can see similarities or parallels from them into your current life. So if I say certain things and it reminds you of your past, just keep that in mind, that you may have been going through similar lessons or certain patterns and it's almost like you had to experience similar lessons within the past life, or it can just manifest in different ways. But if it starts to sound kind of similar to something that happened in your past, just know, like, again, take only what resonates with you, but a lot of times you experience this in some shape or manner in both of these incarnations, and that's why it's also showing up for you, and maybe there's something that you can get out of and learn from this. So before we get into the cards, let's take a look at your intuitively chosen crystal, the carborundum. Let's see what we can get out of this. Some of you are born to succeed. Some of you are very ambitious in this lifetime. I just heard have a lot of stories to be told. You probably have a really good sense of humor, a really good sense of community, I'm getting as well. I feel like you are somebody that you can enter into a room and your presence just makes people feel better. Your encouraging words, your smile, people love to hear what you have to say. And I feel like this really ties into your past life incarnation as well. I feel like in your past life incarnation, again, take only what resonates with you. This is very specific, but you may have been very close-knit with your family. Family may have been very important for you, and you sought out a lot of value in the younger generations too. You lived a long life in the incarnation that I'm currently connecting with, and this again could just be specific, so take it how it resonates. But I feel like all of your stories build so much character. If we're seeing all these different colors shining off the crystals here, it makes me think about like all these memories add a part to your story that you pass on to other people. I'm almost seeing like this image of like a grandfather, and it's like he's telling his grandchildren the stories of how his life unfolded, telling the stories of his life experiences and what got him there. So that could have been somebody in their past life, or maybe you had a grandfather like this. But nonetheless, maybe that's somebody's spirit guide. If that sounds like somebody very familiar to you, just know maybe that's who is passing along this information for you to hear, and that's your way of knowing that they are here. And all your experiences tell a grand tale. Alright, so this first card, we have a storyteller, of course. So this is kind of like describing your past life energy, what you have brought over from your past life, the archetype of your past life, and maybe what you have brought from that because of this archetype you have lived. this energy you've lived as. So again, storyteller, light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. So, well, I don't know why, but I'm getting this image. So this is probably a past life. Somebody will connect to very specifically. Some of you in a past life were a soldier. Again, very specific. You did go to war, but you not only did you see the scary things, but you also lived through a lot of experience. You made new connections. You saw a lot of things. You met a lot of people. You went a lot of places. You traveled, and you had a lot of wisdom and stories to tell to the people that maybe didn't experience this. You faced a lot of both tragedy and beautiful things and experiences in this past life. And I feel like it taught you to really appreciate the good things that happened and not just ruminate on the traumatic things. I feel like maybe you did experience trauma in your current lifetime growing up or in your past, but I feel like maybe a lesson that kind of repeated in a different form to this life was that in order to cope with life and get through this, you really went into your humor, or you chose to see the good in things, the good aspects of life. Some of you are also musicians or were musicians in a past life, or writers. You made stories, or you told stories or wrote songs through life experiences. So some of you may have actually came into this lifetime with an inclination towards music, songwriting, writing, natural talents for writing music. You may pick up an instrument and learn it very quickly. You may be a good storyteller. You may be a good writer. Or maybe you've heard certain stories from your parents or whoever raised you that even as a child you would come up with these crazy stories of your past life, like speaking about things you've gone through without actually have been there. Or you may have remembered certain things from your past life as a child, and there might be crazy stories surrounding this that your caretakers or parents may bring up and thought was funny about you, or you had like this unique talent, especially music is coming through, but there are other talents here as well. You may have a really deep soul. You came in with a very deep soul. It's like you just knew things that a child shouldn't have, and everyone else is like, how the heck did they know that? But it's because you lived a really long life in your past life. And it's like you kind of carried that same jovial spirit through into this one. Someone that just loves life and enjoys the good things in life and takes their hard experiences and turns them into something beautiful that they can treasure and other people can treasure as well, in both their storytelling or their music and songs. Like, you show people how to transmute, or you did show people, and that's something that I feel you have the potential to carry on over in this life. How to transmute a tough experience and make it something beautiful or something that other people can learn from. But I'm really getting that your past life self really went through so many different crazy experiences and likely traveled a lot, and they had a lot to say. So you may have been very talkative, especially as a child in this life. And I'm feeling like if you have a unique talent or had a certain inclination as a child, or you were very musically gifted or really drawn to the music or the arts or certain historical events or whatever, that's key to your past life. Your past life self is showing me. So I also heard dance. Some of you felt drawn to dancing as well. And you don't have to be like somebody that was in war in your past life or anything like that. That was very specific for someone. But I feel like you had so many experiences, and maybe you showcased it through music or art or writing or just general storytelling. You had so much wisdom. And I feel like, again, you kind of retain this coming into this life as a child, like the same sort of spirit. And if you've ever wondered where those stories or these talents came from, it's your past life memories and self. Some of you, I just heard, have a connection to a grandfather. So I don't know if there was a grandfather that may have passed away, and it's like back to back, you incarnated pretty quickly into this one, maybe as somebody else in your family. Like you wanted to stay within the same family to be closer to people that you once were in this last life, maybe your parental figure. I feel like you knew them in this past life but passed away, so you wanted to come back again to be like part of the reason, not the only reason, to be close to them. And there's a sense of familiarity around you and around these people, or you have strong bonds and ties with them because you're both soul family, and you wanted to come back again in the same family lineage. So your next cards, we have just getting some information from your past life and how it's relevant to this one, and any other messages along this nature. We have the Tower, the Nine of Swords, the King of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. In your past life, I feel like you went through some really rough things. So again, if some of you feel drawn to certain historical events, or you felt like you were a soldier in a past life or something, like you didn't have to be a soldier, or for some reason there was some big tower moment, some really life-changing event that you had to go through where your life flipped completely upside down along with your perspective. I feel like some of you may have had faced some trauma from this. I'm getting with that King of Swords next to the Nine of Swords, and maybe developed some sort of PTSD as a result in your past life. But in order to cope with life, I feel like you really built a stronger bond with the community around you, or really embraced trying to get out of that negative mindset, not so much focusing on the things that remind you of your trauma or things that weigh you down. I feel like maybe some of you had turned to partying, to having good times with friends. Maybe some of you also didn't always cope with it in the right way, and you may have turned to substance as well. And maybe you've noticed that in this lifetime too. That could have been something that you had overcome, or you're overcoming. I feel like you would try to block out a lot of the trauma affiliated with this other lifetime. But in order to cope with some of the trauma, it's like you would try to drown it out, whether it was substance, also with noise, maybe with music, maybe with people. I feel like you didn't want to focus on these negative events or this negative trauma, so it's kind of like a way to fill those in, or fill the cup up over it, if that makes sense. That's probably a strange sounding metaphor, but it's like you're trying to fill up your life with more positive things, or things that help you not sink into this low place, because you feel like if you allow your mind to go there, you might not have the will to move forward or go on anymore. So in order to cope, it's like you're trying to think of the ways that can make you feel better, whether in unhealthy mannerisms or through leaning on your community. You really embraced also some of the things that you went through. You had a lot of stories to tell because of your travels, or the experiences that shaped you, and a lot of wisdom. So I feel like you wanted to help other people with this too, But I feel like you don't want to so much focus on the bad times, because you want to embrace the memories more than anything with the people that you love and care about. And if there were hard things or mistakes that you have made, you learn from them and you carry them like battle scars in a way to help other people see like how they can avoid these kind of events or how they can navigate through them. You were very wise because of this, and a lot of people looked up to you for advice, or they really enjoyed hearing the background of your stories in this other life. And you are a natural teacher too. I feel like in this life you might be drawn to things like teaching, mentoring, even maybe psychology is coming up here for some of you. You may feel a desire to be closer to family. Well, family might be very important to you in this lifetime, and honoring those connections. You may have incarnated with actual soul family members in your family in this lifetime. And I feel like you want to move on from the past. That's something in both your past life and current lifetime in some degree. You're trying not to dwell so much on the past and how you can make those memories become something better to help people or pass along so other people can live a better life, or help people from making the same mistakes I'm getting to. You are somebody very wise. If you feel like you are more masculine in this life, if you feel more masculine than feminine, like it doesn't really matter what you relate to or not, but I feel like this is pretty specific for some of you. If you notice yourself being more masculine in this lifetime, or having a harder time connecting to your femininity, I feel like it's because Spirit is showing me like you crossed over into this life really quickly from your last life. And it's like you still carry a lot of traits from this embodiment into this one. A lot of stories, a lot of past life memories, a lot of the same sense of humor. So if you heard somebody in your family who knew like a grandparent, and they compare you to them and say like you have the same sense of humor as your grandparent did that passed away, or they remind them of them in some sort of way, that's because you likely were that person. You crossed over again. Like there's certain similarities that are super close, or personality traits that are super close to the certain family member that you carry over. And this person and somebody in your family might have a certain bond with you, or a certain special connection to you for this reason, because you're so familiar to them, and it's because you are. There's a lot of deepening love between you and certain soul family members that you connect with on a profound level. And family is very important to you. You know what matters in this life. Like you came in almost with this inclination, knowing what's important and what's not, and what is valuable. And you know, like above anything, your connections are what mean the most to you. So let's get some more information. I am not affiliated with knowing how to pronounce all of these. I'm not sure how to pronounce all of the names in this deck, so I will just show you the cards so I don't completely butcher it. We had an extra card come out for this deck, for this pile. Shiva. So I'm getting, again, this energy of, you know what matters and what doesn't matter. You know that your connections are more important in this life, And you know what's most valuable is the time and energy you spend with the people that matter and the situations that matter. And maybe that's why some of you feel like you move on from certain situations pretty quickly, as opposed to maybe some of the other people around you. I feel like it's because some of you also have like less of a tolerance for staying stagnant in certain situations, or not wanting to remain in the same kind of situations, I should say, for too long. You might have an intolerance for things that don't matter because you can quickly see past this, and it's like you want to shift on to something more positive. You want to embrace the good times, the laughter, the connections in your community. You want to make the memories. You want to make the most out of life, I'm hearing. And I feel like with this energy here, you have less room in your life to tolerate things that don't serve you or serve the path that you're trying to build here. You want more fun times, I'm getting. And I feel like because of this energy from your past life incarnation, I feel like you just want to focus on more of what matters in this life. So you may come off more upbeat, somebody that loves to sing and dance and have a good time, or maybe a little bit more outgoing in this lifetime, because you've learned in your past life that time is not meant wasted on the wrong things. And you just want to surround yourself with the people that you love. Like, family is going to be even more important to you, I think, in this lifetime, because you learned that from your past life. I feel like you did go through a chaotic time in your past life, and you may see that to a degree reflected back into this one in your past. And because of what you've gone through, it's like you're ready to have a better life. You may have fixated on things that were less important, that you view as less important in this life. You may have done that in your past life already. So in this life, you want to focus more on the things that truly matter. That is the road you feel will give you the fullest life. You want to appreciate and value the people in it now, and what matters, and the people closest to you, and make your heart full. You teach people to see the beauty and positivity in life too here, even amidst the chaos, and how they can transmute this chaos and grow from it, learn how to forgive, let go of resentment and things that don't truly matter or restrict you from having joy and profound connections with the people around you. I have no idea how long my camera was blurry. I'm so sorry. So, your next cards, this is messages from your past life self. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. So much wisdom. We have your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. All paths lead to home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Everything that you need is already within you, your past life self is saying. You have so much knowledge and experiences within you, both in the life that you have lived and your life prior to this one, that time is not meant wasted on the wrong things. Life is too short, they're saying, to take with you the experiences that shaped you and fill your own cup. There's a lesson around filling up your own cup right now for you. Focus on the things that bring you joy. Don't waste time trying to fit in or be like somebody else's road, or see what works for them. You're just meant to do the things that make you happy and enjoy the small moments. It's not always about making big steps in areas of career or goals or reaching that next big external thing. I feel like when you try to do that in this lifetime, or you might see other people doing that, you might have the tendency to think that you have to follow suit, but you never really feel fully satisfied. And there's a reason why. You're learning to leave something behind right now, and learning not to forget about yourself. So right now is a really important time to really gaze within yourself and think about the things that do bring you more excitement and positivity. Just because it may work for somebody else doesn't mean it's meant for you. Just because it matters to somebody else doesn't mean that that's the thing that's meant to matter for you. I feel like you're learning also to tend your own garden. And there's some sort of, okay, this is maybe a very specific message here. There's some sort of beauty in seeing you build something from the ground up or raise your own family. I'm getting for somebody here watching this. Maybe raising a family is very important for some of you. Or nurturing something. You may feel pride and joy in nurturing things, whether this is plant life, animals, raising a family. You like to see things grow and exceed, I'm hearing. You like to make sure that other people that you water, like this family, let's say if you have kids, for example, like family is very important to you in this lifetime. And it brings you so much pride and joy to see your kids reaching their dreams or being whoever exactly they want to be. You may have the tendency to put others above yourself, but just know when to rest and fill up your own cup. Your past life self is saying that you don't have to live a life that other people understand, that you can just enjoy the small things that bring you happiness and joy. You don't need to reach big milestones all the time to be happy. Sometimes it's just about centering in on the things that truly matter and are important to you. You don't need to, it's not a race either. Life doesn't have to be a race. And the same things that make other people happy don't have to make you happy. That is a message coming through here. Right now is meant to be a carefree time for you, and letting go of expectations, especially put on yourself. Like if there's a goal point that you're wanting to reach in life, or like you're trying to find some external goal, right now it's just about watering the connection to the people closest to you that matter the most to you, and enjoying these times, building memories, and just embracing that life isn't always about chasing purpose or finding that within external things like career. Sometimes a part of life is the people close to you and your connections with them and your memories and experiences, and fully embracing that and just honoring your own heart and soul and flowing from there. Just know, like, it's okay to take a pause. Sometimes that's what your past life self wants you to know, that it doesn't have to always be about what you're going to go out and be in the world. It's just focus on what truly matters to you right now. And if that is, and it doesn't mean that you're not meant to move forward in certain things. It's just that there's some sort of significance about watering the connections closest to you, to your heart, the things that matter most to you, and your own heart. Enjoying these moments with the people close to you and your own soul, and doing things because it's nurturing to you. Like, I'm getting the image of somebody painting something because it feels good, and not because they want to show it off to the world or anything, but just because they love being in the flow of their own creativity. Or you can take that in any way that you would like to. It could be playing basketball by yourself, or these are just examples, or planting a garden, or anything along that nature. Make sure that you're doing things because it's something that you like doing, and it's okay to have those kind of times where you're not trying to necessarily make progress. You're just trying to find fulfillment in the things that really matter to you. There's a strong gift of authenticity that you have in this lifetime. So next message we have is surrender. So going forward into this present lifetime, some of you may be feeling like you're watching other people move in certain directions or going ways that they're meant to go, but you don't feel like you fully fit into that, or you're not fitting the mold of everybody else. I feel like it's almost like you're on this learning journey right now, this mental expansion. You're learning right now. Your soul is evolving and learning things it didn't quite learn in your other lifetime. I feel like you have some soul family members here in this card, and there's a message saying that you don't have to be in constant contact with them, that your true connections aren't going to leave you behind, that they're still going to be there and they're going to respect your space. That's a specific message for somebody. I just saw a peacock feather in my mind. Just honoring your own authenticity, honoring your own story and your own growth and your own experience, and knowing that your experience, your memories, having even the pause sometimes to not focus on the external goals and career building or any of that is just as important as those other things too. Like sometimes even more important is having those pauses so that you can be close to your own soul and reconnect to what actually matters to you and what you want in life. Sometimes you feel like your dreams are getting away from you in this current reality, but sometimes you're forced into a pause so you can reevaluate and reflect and remember that that's your dreams or your goals or aspirations aren't the only important thing. You don't have to be on a mission to find your journey 24/7. Just also embrace the experiences, embrace the learning, and embrace being human. Sometimes you are also meant to enjoy being human and enjoy the memories and not feel like you have to build up for a career always. Or that's just an example. It doesn't have to just be career. It can just be different things or go the same route as everyone else. You absolutely do not have to. I'm feeling like a bigger part of your experience that you wanted to experience in this lifetime was nourishing the connections that truly matter rather than these external values. Because again, in your past life, you learned what was important, what isn't, and so you kind of have this yearning inside you. Maybe that doesn't align fully with the people around you, and it doesn't mean that they're bad people to be around. It just means that there's different things that fulfill you, and it's not always about chasing after these external things, like maybe a career or being seen in the world or whatever this is. Sometimes it's about just enjoying the moment and the people closest to you, or just enjoying your own experience, taking a pause sometimes, because again, career or these external values aren't the only thing that matter, and they actually matter less for you. You're meant to embrace life itself. So let's say you're an artist. You're meant to also take time to explore yourself this time. You're meant to find the cosmos within your own being and reflect and have these awakenings and realizations and connection with the people that matter, and have good times with the people that matter, and build memories and embrace your family too if family is very important to you. There's a reason why you feel more drawn to that, and you don't have to cave into any other pressure just because it's somebody else's value for them. And it can be a value for you too, but there's a need for you to nourish your own garden right now. So moving forward, your last cards are work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. And expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Some of you are diving in and doing a lot of shadow work right now. You're really trying to, I feel like maybe you've been pushing yourself too hard to meet some sort of external goal or fit in with other people's goals. That's pretty specific. And maybe you feel like you don't measure up because you see other people going out in the world, smashing their goals, getting these different things, or like you're trying to fit into somewhere too much to where you feel like you're not really being yourself as much, or you're not paying enough attention to yourself. But it's because there's some need to pause and reflect on the things that really matter to you. You are doing a lot of shadow work right now. We also have don't let the past hold you down. So a lot of you are working through maybe past traumas. A lot of shadow work again, inner child healing things. You're trying to forgive things within your family too. Maybe if certain things had happened in your upbringing with certain family members, you're trying to understand where you came from and how this affects you in this life. You're trying to really understand yourself and grow. You're trying to find your place in the universe. Where is it that you shine, that you want to be? Not just, again, like not just watching where maybe other people are gravitating towards and following their North Star. You're finding out that your North Star is actually within yourself. And that's the place that you need to be. It's like you're trying to find your place out in the world. And this right now, you may be feeling this, and just to know that there's beauty also in the stillness of just being exactly where you are currently, not just chasing after the goals or these external values. Sometimes it's about just being happy where you are right now, and knowing like if you're standing in your authentic self, no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing nothing, that's gonna bring about something beautiful, exactly where you need to be, and letting the journey unfold naturally. Enjoy these moments right now and really getting from this, because they're going to matter later. We have expect powerful change. So some of you again are just taking a step back and trying to figure out again what really matters for you. You're trying to figure out who you truly are. You are taking a rest period. You may not be engaging with certain people as much right now, but it's just because you're trying to center in and find you and what matters to you and where you want to go from here. And there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with taking the path less traveled than the people around you too. You don't need to search for a North Star outside of yourself, I'm getting, because it's already within you. It's centered in at your core and your values and what matters to you currently. Some of you are building your confidence or wishing to build on your confidence too here. Some of you are waiting for something, or you want to take a leap of faith, but maybe you're afraid, or you're not feeling fully confident in yourself, or you're not really showing the world the real you. And it's time to step out and embrace every shade about you, in both your light and your shadows. You are perfect just the way that you are, perfectly you. And that is your superpower. That is your gift to the world. And your voice, there's something about your voice telling your own story and not trying to fit into anybody else's mold but your own, and defining that for yourself. And that is where the beauty is. The beauty isn't always trying to be out in the world to be seen or whatever. That could be somebody else's path. But it's about asking where that is centered inside yourself. There are beautiful things coming beyond the horizon. Maybe you feel like there's people distancing themselves from you, or they're getting away, or maybe you feel a little resentful about that. Some of you, that's pretty specific because of this. You don't really know where your place is that you fit in, but it's because it's pushing you closer to yourself. This is happening because it's pushing you closer to your own self, your own core. You don't have to fit into a mold that is somebody else's. and that beautiful, bright things are coming from you. It is your time, and it's okay to be perfectly yourself. Alright, that's all I have for you, pile number 2. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up, comment down below if it resonates. I really do enjoy reading your feedback and what you have to say. If you are not subscribed already, please consider doing so, and I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to talk to you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3, for those of you who were drawn to the group with the malachite crystal. Sending you so much love from wherever in the world you are currently viewing this reading today. Let's dive in and see what you have brought over from your past life, what lessons, what gifts perhaps that have carried over into your past life and how they are relevant now, and just any other messages your past life self would like you to know. So before we get into your cards, we are going to go ahead and see what messages come up from your intuitively selected crystal for your pile. And remember, this is a general reading, so please only take what resonates with you and leave behind what does not. Those of you who gravitated more towards this group, what I'm picking up in this crystal is somebody that lived in a more rural area where there was more greenery, more wildlife, people were closer to the earth. You may feel drawn to cultures that integrated the earth more into their daily life, whether this is spiritual practices or worked more with the earth, whether this was with crops and landscaping or just being very connected to wildlife. You may feel drawn to islands. Some of you may have a connection to islands or living on an island in your past life, or somewhere really surrounded by nature, greenery, wildlife. I feel like in this past life you likely paid attention to moon cycles and how the weather was acting at the time. You and your people, the people around you, really paid attention to nature and the signs within nature, and you had a respect towards the animal life and the animal kingdom as well. A very specific message, but some of you may also feel drawn to mermaids. I don't know exactly why that's coming up just yet. And deers. You may be drawn to deers or may have a deer spirit animal. But I'm getting really that you connected a lot with Mother Earth and all of her creatures. Some of you are drawn to ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, ancient cultures, anything from maybe perhaps ancient Egypt, Lemuria, Atlantis, Native American culture. But this greatly will vary depending on for each of you. But I am sensing somebody who was very in tune with their own psychic and healing gifts in their past life. You have a very open heart chakra, or a very powerful heart chakra, and I'm feeling a lot of energy pulsing through into my hands, like healing from the heart space, and I'm feeling like so much energy flowing into my hands. So some of you may feel drawn to things like Reiki, or you may perform Reiki or be interested in the healing arts. You are natural healers, and I feel like this is something that you brought over from your past life. I just also heard animal medicine for someone watching this, so that may be very significant for you in regards to your past life experiences. So I'm going to set this over here just for now. If we get any other messages, I will bring that up. Some of you could feel drawn to things like shamanism. Some of you were shamans in your past life, and you have a special connection to your ancestors from that life. Now, even if you're not descended from the same bloodline, I feel like those in your past life still watch over you in spirit, and they're your spirit guides. So if you feel drawn to things like shamanism, dream work, animal medicine, or just working with the earth, paying attention to the weather and caring for animals, this feels like there's a very strong connection between this feeling that you have, feeling drawn towards these things in your past life. I don't know why, but I also saw a sheep in my mind's eye. So some of you may have been like shepherds. Don't have to be. Again, this is a general reading, so I may get messages for different people. So leave behind what does not resonate for you. Yes, there's something very important about paying attention to the moon cycles, to the weather, to wildlife. I feel like whoever you were in a past life, these are things that you intuitively were taught, not intuitively, you were taught to pay attention to, and you had a lot of compassion to give. You were a healer, and I almost see you rescuing animals too. It wouldn't put it past you in your past life to do things such as this. You were a natural healer, and a lot of people sought out your advice. I just heard wise counsel as well. So let's get into your first card. This is going to tell us kind of like an archetype energy of your past life and what you may have brought over from your past life, whether this is a lesson, gift, or both integrated. Let's see what this is. Let's get an idea of you in your past life. We have victim. Light attribute prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Shadow attributes, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity. Inability to maintain personal boundaries. I feel like you were somebody that was very intuitive. You were very empathetic. You were an emotional sponge, both to nature, the people around you, animals. You really did care what people thought about you. And I feel like because you were so sensitive to energies, you were very sensitive to the energies of those around you, the thoughts and opinions of others. Maybe you shaped at one point a lot of your life depending on these energies, or you felt kind of backed into a corner. You may have struggled with some social anxiety or having difficulty maintaining the balance of what you think for yourself and fear of what others want for you. I feel like maybe there was some sort of estranged or distant connection with the father figure or a parental figure in your past life. And also keep in mind that a lot of times people will connect with their past life and the way that they connect with their past. And what I mean by that is you may see parallels between things you have been through in your past with this past life, and that could just be a validation, because in this other life, I feel like a lot of people will repeat a lot of the same lessons to a degree, or patterns, whether to grow from them or if there's something to gain from this cycle. But just to keep that in mind, if a lot of times information that comes from your past life, you'll see a lot of parallels between that and your current lifetime or the past of your current lifetime. So I feel like for a lot of you in this lifetime, you may have came in feeling more misunderstood, feeling like nobody really got you. I feel like you dove into your emotions big time. Maybe you were very creative, or you're very sensitive to the energies around you. I keep seeing that deer spirit pop in my mind. You have a deer spirit. animal totems. Some of you do. You struggle to fit in or find harmony between, again, that balance between what other people expect of you and who you want to be and who you truly are, and expressing yourself. Your emotions and creativity really run deep in this lifetime, and you may have felt like, to a degree, growing up, your family, or maybe they still don't, you may still feel like this, didn't quite understand you. And there may have been some struggle with a parental figure or somebody that had tried to make the decisions for you, or kept giving their opinions of how they think you should live your life, what decisions you may make, even in romantic connections. I feel like maybe the parental figure in the past life, and you may see this to a degree in your current life at some point, or have already. They may have tried to make the choices for you or put pressure on you to make the decisions according to them instead of yourself, or there was shame involved for you making your own decisions. And you didn't feel heard, you didn't feel like you really had a voice or the option to decide anything for yourself. You were very sensitive to the energies around you, and I feel like that might manifest in a fear of criticism too, and you may notice this in yourself in this lifetime. You may consider yourself in this lifetime to be very reflective, very insightful, intuitive, but you have these deep emotions that may be a little bit hard to handle for yourself at sometimes, because you're so deep. You feel everything deeply, and it's very important for you, even in this lifetime, last lifetime too, or this lifetime we were talking about before. In both these lifetimes, it's very important for you to make sure that you get some space or define yourself away from the people that are around you. I feel like you may pick up on other people's thoughts very easily. You're very intuitive, very empathic. You may be able to see auras as well, I'm getting here. You may have felt lonely as well as a child. But I'm feeling like in that past life, you were also very, very sensitive, but you feel like almost you didn't have the freedom to choose the life that you wanted in this past life. And in this lifetime, I'm feeling like you are going to run into more soul family connections. So this isn't for everyone, but I feel like you may have these karmic contracts or these soul contracts or these soulmate relationships where maybe you've noticed like your family didn't really agree with who you were seeing, or you were really more of the black sheep. Like, not that you really did anything, like rebelled, but it was more so that you just felt so misunderstood. You felt like you didn't really fit into your family. This kind of sounds to me like one of the other groups as well. So I think it was pile 1. If you felt drawn to pile 1 as well, this might be a sign for you to go back and go ahead and look at that too. But there's a lesson involved that I feel like maybe it wasn't fully learned in your past life that is carried over into this one, and you may be seeing it a bit more clearly in this one. And about releasing the expectations of others. Sometimes finding your tribe doesn't have to be blood, and I feel like maybe you might run into this pattern at some point in your life where you build a community that was different from the one that you grew up in, or you really felt ostracized from the rest of the group or the rest of the family, or you never really felt like you fit in, even from the kids at school, or you noticed that your emotions ran deeper than people around you. I feel like because of your past life too, the sensitivity that you had really carried over into this one. I feel like in this lifetime you were going to really push yourself past your own boundaries or the boundaries set up by others for you. breaking those mental barriers and expectations of others and being who you truly want to be, your authentic self. In this lifetime, you are learning to find your own authentic truth and who you are and how you want to show up in the world, and you're going to achieve that ultimately if you allow yourself to. So your next tarot cards, let's get some additional messages possibly from this past life and how it could be relevant now. We have the Chariots. And we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like in your past life you felt very deeply controlled by somebody else, or maybe somebody else controlled your resources, or there may have been a parental figure that kept a lot of control over your life even at an older age. You've noticed. We have the Star, beautiful energy, breaking out of those limitations. You were meant to shine in this lifetime. Your voice is meant to be heard this lifetime. You were meant to be seen for your talents, for your uniqueness in this lifetime. You also carry a lot of ancient wisdom within you. I feel like in your past life you connected a lot with the stars, the earth, the animals, and your intuition. You were very connected in this way. You may have even had some contact with ETs possibly. Take that how it resonates for you. But you may have had some sort of secret knowledge that you weren't allowed to expose, or maybe at that time it was not appropriate for you to share this insight or share your intuition or share who you really were or be seen. And it's almost like it was stifled. It was constricted by somebody else to keep it a secret, or they were keeping tabs on you. We next have the Six of Cups and the Six of Wands. We have two sixes there. What I can see here is that you were somebody who had a lot of beauty, who had a lot of talent, who had a lot of intuition. You had something special about you, but it was kept secret because of somebody else. You were kept almost confined or trapped by the limitations of somebody else, or somebody that wanted to have you under their control. And you didn't really find the freedom that you wanted to. Maybe you felt like you lived a life of service for somebody else in your past life. And I think because of that, you may notice in this lifetime, you may have a little bit of a fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out in the spotlight, or knowing that you deserve the things that you want. I feel like this may have been kind of like an emotional scar left on you from your previous, or this previous lifetime. There's somewhere that you really wanted to be, but it's like you weren't allowed to explore the world outside of somebody else's constraints. This doesn't feel like it was imposed by you, but in this lifetime I feel like it is more imposed by you. There might be a fear of going after what you want, or you feel more helpless at times than you really are. And you may wonder, why do I have these mental constraints where I feel so stagnant and I can't make myself move forward, or have so much fear about standing out or getting the things that you really want, or feeling like you deserve those things? That's because of what you had gone through with a controlling figure in your past life, I am feeling. Because unfortunately in this other lifetime, I feel like you didn't get the opportunity to do the things you really wanted to. You were really living a life for somebody else. You didn't really feel like you got to be yourself. And it's almost like when you were able to be yourself in this other lifetime, you were punished for it. There may have, trigger warning, been some abuse of some sort. If you had tried to either get away, maybe I feel like maybe there was times where you attempted to escape, but you were caught, or you thought about escaping. You felt like you were held captive in a way. But it feels like maybe you were into some sort of forced marriage. That might be a possibility here. Or maybe there was a parental figure who just kind of kept you confined to their reality, their restrictions. You weren't allowed to explore yourself or the things that you really wanted to do. And I'm feeling like in this lifetime, you're getting the opportunity to break through those barriers. And it's like, because you didn't really get to open that part of your life up and explore that in this lifetime, it's really important for you that you do. And I feel like in this lifetime it's less so. I mean, at some point you could have noticed these restrictions placed by somebody else, but in this lifetime it's more of a mental barrier keeping you from your own truth. I just heard, knowing how powerful your talent is. You may fear your own talents or power to a degree about how far you can go. So there might be a need to just be cautious about self-sabotage a little bit. If there is an ancient culture or something that you really want to dive into, and you feel an intuitive pull to, whether this is like Lemuria, Atlantis, or some other ancient culture, I feel like that's because this is tied to your past life in some way. You were suppressed to be who again you really wanted to be, and in this lifetime you might feel a little bit shy and reserved. You're very sensitive to the emotions of other people, especially negative emotions. It's like you may have lessons involved breaking free, if you choose to, of people-pleasing behaviors and your own mental constraints. I feel like there's somewhere you really want to go, or a way of being that you really desire in this lifetime, and you're wondering, is it really my time to step into it? Do I deserve this? Do I have what it takes? And the answer is yes, because there's a lot of divine feminine wisdom within you. Your soul has gone through so much, and it doesn't matter whether you are male or female, it is within all of us. But I'm feeling like for somebody, I just heard Akashic records in your soul with that Six of Wands card. You're very intuitive, and you have to be careful with the people that you surround yourself, and make sure that you're not making somebody else's truth more important than your own, or taking it on as your own, because this is your lifetime to really find who you are and stand authentically. And I feel like it's going to be like this journey to the spotlight, almost letting people see the real you and not feeling confined anymore, taking back your power. This is the lifetime where you really get to take back your power. You're very intuitive. Some of you may feel drawn to intuitive practices, a spiritual practice in business, or I just heard singing might be something you are drawn to, or expressing your authentic or artistic self. Some of you may be writing a book in this lifetime, or some of you might actually be in the public eye somehow, whether you are also an intuitive reader on YouTube or whatever that means for you. But there is an important message here that your guides want you to know, and your past life self wants you to know, just to make sure that when you are in the healing business, or when you're doing healing for others, it's very vital for you to have that boundary between yourself and others, because you really take on the energy of other people, and it's important for you to maintain that balance where you are more centered into you than you are to other people. And once you have this balance and you can still help people, that is really where this personal empowerment comes from, and you become your own superhero, I'm hearing. And you inspire a lot of people, and you become a very, very powerful healer. Some of you may remember past life memories too with that Six of Cups. You may feel drawn to a certain location very far from where you already are. Like home is somewhere else. Spirit is also saying right now, it is okay for you to chase after your dreams and leave something behind. It's time for you and the focus to be on you, your authentic truth. And I feel like you are really stepping into this and prioritizing yourself. I feel like you are, again, going to inspire a lot of people with this. So let's get on to your next cards and see what other messages come through. We have Tantra. I'm not going to try to pronounce all of these because I do not want to butcher it. I'm still trying to get familiar with how to pronounce some of these. So I will just show you the card. There's a huge need in this lifetime for your voice to be heard outside of the opinions of other people. So when in this lifetime, I feel like when you're younger, you may have noticed a similar pattern where maybe the household you grew up and there were people around you that just had a more dominating opinion or presence or voice, or they may have over dominated you. And this is something to be careful also for you in romantic relationships. That's just something Spirit wants to point out, and to know that you are just as important as everyone else, and your voice deserves to be heard. You deserve to be seen. I feel like you may have this tendency to overextend yourself to your breaking points. You may have noticed this pattern within you at times, but you're really returning to yourself right now, and I feel like that's a lesson a lot of you are currently learning. You're learning something that you didn't in your previous lifetime, or you didn't have time to. You are breaking free of these constraints that were shackled onto you in your past life and in your past. I feel like in this lifetime, your romantic connections are going to be also very important for you, and also learning to discern what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry, what belongs to somebody else, and knowing that you can be there to support people, but it's not your job to fix people's problems for them. And I feel like maybe there have been times where you have overextended yourself to your breaking point, or maybe you have just recently reached this point, and because of this, it's triggered this like self-awakening to really center into your own authentic truth, because you spent so much time on others. Now you're just trying to put that on you. And I feel like your intuition is also like your superpower, and I feel like you're going to use your intuition to help provide healing or help bring tools for healing for others to find this within themselves as well and empower other people. You see the beauty in other people, and you care about uplifting them into this mindset as well, and bringing them closer to their authentic truth while you living your own. You're teaching people how to be free to be authentically themselves and take their empowerment into their own hands, to be their own leader, to know that they can switch the patterns that they've been living through and invest more of their energy and time into themselves. I feel like you are gaining a lot of confidence too, or you will be, again, if you allow yourself to. And I feel like you are learning in this lifetime how to influence the energy of the people around you rather than just take it all in, because I feel like you are able to transmute and filter through energies really easily. And I feel like you can also help provide new perspectives to people that they didn't see before. But I feel like you have a lot of, even though these things had happened in your past life, you gained a lot of experience and knowledge, and I'm feeling like it really benefits you in this lifetime to help empower others and it's like fighting for change, but not in an aggressive way. This feels like helping uplift others and helping them feel equal, helping them feel seen and see that they can be their own leader and they can be authentically themselves, and that they don't have to invest their time and energy into other people more than they do themselves. And I feel like that's something that you're teaching, you want other people to see, while remaining grounded within your own self. And I feel like this is something, if you have children or you are connected to younger people, you will be handing off to younger generations as well, or your own children. There's a lot of strengthening of sacral chakra energy here, so creativity, passion. I feel like you have already gone through a lot, and now you're just ready to see the good things in life. You're ready to feel more grounded within yourself, integrate the knowledge that you have gathered. Some of you are coming into your life's purpose too, I'm hearing, if you have not already, very soon. So this is going to be a message from your past life self. We have the seeds of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. I feel like you help others see the beauty within themselves without overextending yourself. You reflect back to people too. Maybe what needs healing within themselves. Next we have Star Brothers, Horus, energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You are learning to trust yourself right now, and perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. It's almost like with your intuition, you can really have like this bird's eye view of things when you center into yourself, and you really, it's almost like this regulating energy, like regulating with the waters within yourself, helps you to be able to understand and help other people as well, and also connect with your guides. That's a message coming through. Some of you are very drawn to the concept of starseeds and are a starseed or associate with being a starseed. And some of you have some sort of ascended master as a spirit guide guiding you at this time. You may be receiving a lot of intuitive downloads, and I feel like this pile, you may find yourself inclined to work in a spiritual practice in this lifetime. You're meant to be utilizing your gifts and bringing forth ancient knowledge as well. You're very fine-tuned into your intuition. This is something that has been brought through from your past life, and I feel like it is a gift that you've carried over and agreed to carry over into this life. You may be a messenger for the divine. You may be a intuitive healer or psychic. You may again write books and get a lot of psychic downloads. You might be very claircognizant as well, not just an empath. You may feel a strong connection to birds too. There may be something very important for you to for birds. Let me see if there's anything else here. Your intuition is at an all-time high, I'm hearing right now. You may notice this within yourself, and you are stepping into your leadership potential. The restrictions that you had in your past life for leading others, those are being lifted, and you are being given the opportunity to do so in this lifetime. So make the most of it, your past life itself is saying. Spread out your message, use your voice. You may consider yourself a messenger in this lifetime from spirit. Or work very closely with spirit in this lifetime, to where maybe you felt like you could not speak your authentic truth or share these gifts and truths. In this lifetime, you're being given the opportunity and the freedom to be able to do what you want with that and be able to be seen without being persecuted in a way. So you are free to be your authentic self. and to trust your intuition. You have a very strong crown chakra as well. Your next card we have is the third eye chakra. This is representing like your present life, and we're moving forward into this life now. Third eye chakra. So I'm feeling like you have a strong intuition in this lifetime. You have a lot of psychic gifts. You may actually be uncovering a lot of past life wisdom and knowledge and things that maybe you didn't get to carry over fully as a message for others to bring forth, but in this lifetime you are fully awakened to that. You are really spiritually evolved, and I feel like you have a lot of psychic insight to bring to other people. And this lifetime your intuition is even stronger than it was in your last lifetime to a degree, because it's like you're integrating both halves of yourself. Not that you weren't whole, but that aspect of yourself, and combining it with this one. And maybe you are even connecting with this past life self. I'm also feeling a lot of energy in my throat chakra, so speaking might be very important to you, or communicating through writing or in some sort of way might be a big part of your life purpose in this lifetime. So you may write books, you may speak. I'm feeling like in this current incarnation you have the capability and possibility to be able to bring forth and integrate some of the past life knowledge, whether you are conscious of it already or are not, or you're just embodying the things that you've carried over. You are going to be utilizing this in a way to authentically speak your truth. I feel like a lot of your purpose might involve utilizing both your voice and your psychic insights and bridging these two together to bring them forth for other people. So this might be kind of my more esoteric pile that seems to be happening a lot more often in my picky card readings lately. So if you've been watching my readings, you've been picking those piles, you know what I mean. But I'm feeling like a lot of you are really awakening to a lot of past life knowledge, integration. You may be feeling very called to research ancient cultures, or it's like you're following your intuition, like these intuitive hunches to not only research something with what there is recorded maybe, or what other people have said, but also doing the intuitive work yourself. Maybe you are trying to do things like past life regression, or doing a past life reading for yourself, or meditation, or looking really deep within your own soul. I'm getting you're uncovering something. And you're also going to be utilizing not only your third eye, but your throat chakra to express this. It's like you're getting these psychic downloads and you are going to be expressing it, whether it's in the form of verbal communication or writing, or however it is you choose to do this. I'm feeling like you are very spiritually evolved too. This is a lifetime where you really get to utilize the strength of yours and not be held back. There's nothing stopping you from voicing your truth in this lifetime, and that's very fortunate. And it's like you've been waiting very many lifetimes, not just this past lifetime, to be able to speak the things or speak openly about who you are or your gifts. Maybe you noticed from a young age that you were very awake intuitively to your gifts, and maybe your family or family members around you had noticed this too. You are somebody that came in not feeling quite a part of this earth. I'm getting again major starseed vibes coming from you. And this number 8 is really standing out to me, and it's reminding me of the infinity symbol. So maybe for somebody out there specifically, infinity symbol is really important to you. I feel like you are remembering who you are on a soul level. You're searching those soul records, I'm hearing. and uncovering those truths about who you really are on a soul level. You, again, may feel really drawn to researching ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom, especially like lost wisdom, or the mysteries of life, such as the Great Pyramids, or things of these natures, of how they really got there, or lost lands such as Atlantis or Lemuria or whatever this is. I feel like you lived through a lot of hardship, even going through maybe some of these things that you are currently researching or are drawn to research right now. You lived through certain things to be able to integrate this now. So it's like whatever you didn't get to accomplish in your past life, you're getting the freedom to be able to do so in this life. There's so much throat chakra activation going on within you and harmonizing within your own soul. There's something about your DNA that's also shifting and awakening, I'm getting. I know for some of you, like, this might sound kind of out there, but this is the pile that's getting this today. It seems like this has been coming through a lot lately in my readings. And I'm just going to relay the message. I feel like your crown chakra is very active right now as well. And some of you might even be Mintaka. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Star seeds. You may be drawn to mermaids. And was this the pile that I said something about mermaids at the very beginning of this? So that might be something that you would like to go into meditation and connect with your soul and your spirit guides with, and see if anything comes through about that. There might be something within that your soul is wanting you to know. This is the lifetime where you really get to integrate the things that your past life self didn't get to finish doing, and speak your truth without being held down or held back by anybody. And that is a blessing. Okay, so moving forward, your messages are: you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. I'm also getting that you might have a butterfly, a blue butterfly especially, as a spirit animal for this group. Your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon, and bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. You have a giant wish fulfillment coming true for you, pile number 3, and I feel like very soon you're going to discover what you came here for, like your soul's mission, your soul purpose, or one of your life purposes. I'm somebody that doesn't believe we usually have just one life purpose. I feel like we can have many, and as the journey unfolds, we may discover different layers to this, or different life purposes at whatever state we are in. And I feel like, at least in this life, if you feel like you're more in a researching mode, if you're hermiting yourself away, if you're doing like past life regressions, or you're exploring an ancient culture, you find yourself researching something or finding yourself really interested in something, that's because there's something within this that you're going to find out about yourself or within yourself that's going to awaken some truth, and you're going to know what your life purpose is. I can't say with exact clarity on what that is. I feel like this is something you're meant to find out on your own. I mean, there are the things that I've already said, but I feel like it's also going to have something unique for you to uncover for yourself. You're really exploring some sort of soul truth, or finding some sort of ancient knowledge, especially combining with research and your intuition and coupling the two of these. Some of you, again, you are into intuitive work, you are into spiritual healing or a spiritual practice, and you will find success within this, and you're going to be utilizing your voice in some way. So whether that is giving readings or writing a book, or maybe all of these things, or performing spiritual healing. I feel like you are going to be very seen with this and very successful. I just heard hold on to your dreams, so keep holding on to the vision. Your soul purpose isn't going to escape you, so maybe you feel like you were on the right road, but you're not seeing the results quite away, and maybe that is testing your worth, or you feeling like you're not as worthy. But again, your commitment is being tested to what you feel is right in your soul. So just keep pouring out what you feel is right. Keep doing the things that feel good to your soul. Keep researching. Get lost in those rabbit holes, because there's something very special about doing so that you'll uncover that's going to be very important to your life purpose. This says your commitment is being tested. You are good enough. Bring love into the situation. I'm feeling like this is your commitment to yourself is being tested currently. So please take that how it resonates. That may mean something different to each of you. Your time to shine is coming. You're going to be glowing with your life purpose. I just got a part of your soul is awakening. And then you are not destroying, you are exploring your hidden depths, and they're coming to the surface. And you're going to be very widely seen and recognized very soon for something. So if that is something that you've been trying to achieve, I do see this for you very, very, very soon. You're going to be in the spotlight somehow. Some of you may be publishing a book and are going to find a lot of success within this. Or you are going to receive some sort of intuitive download that's very important, and you're going to be working towards some new project or goal, or integrating this somehow into your practice. But I feel like for some reason it also has to do with some sort of soul learning, some sort of lesson that you're learning about centering into yourself, finding that balance within you, diving into your own self, diving into your own soul. So I think that's why it's also so important for you to really be able to discern and detach from other people's energies, because I feel like you can get so invested, especially in the people that you care about, that it doesn't leave as much room for you to really explore the depths of your own self, or get centered into your own self. And what is beneath the surface, what lies within you, is very important to your life purpose and what you actually want to accomplish in this lifetime. So make sure that you are focusing more on yourself instead of the energy of other people. Make sure that you are fine-tuning yourself, especially right now more than ever. It's very important for you. We're going to be uncovering some sort of truth. And I feel like a new level of self-love coming here too, and accomplishment coming for you. Alright, that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope that you enjoyed your reading. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if it resonates. I really do enjoy reading your feedback and appreciate your support. If you are new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I hope to talk to you all next time. See you later.